Let's say this one, debug, Curic, 5D, and our Imagine Motions workflow. So, what is method 1? Method 1 is the simplest method, which is using our native tools. How do people draw their floor plans? Method 1 is people usually do guidelines, right? Do you guys use guidelines? I see many students drawing like this and then placing the input of their dimensions, which takes a lot of time. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's one method. So instead of using lines, you could actually use groups, for example, just like that. Okay, and then you can resize these groups. For example, you have your carport over here. Maybe that's 2 carports over there. The nice thing with planning in groups is that you can easily see the alignments so that a structural engineer will not have a hard time later on in aligning your columns. Let's explode these groups. Select them, right click and click on delete coplanar edges, and then it just deletes what's in the middle. Now you have the floor. Okay, right? Like that. In method 1, you would do that while you are planning. So if you're comparing the speed, not one of them is wrong, not one of them is correct, but all of them take different span or amount of time. It's just the same as the other methods, except they already want to see what's in 3D. So this is like a perspective-based method. But the nice thing here is you can already see the massing of your structure. For example, if that's 2 stories, you can already see. Maybe you would like to add a balcony over here. And as early as now, you can already control your perspective. Okay? So other people, they would do push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Or if you can select all those lines already, you can get everything and use this plugin called Adebeo Pushline, where all you have to do is to push the walls. That's where you need another extension, and we call this the S4U make face. Or you can find other alternatives. Okay? In method 2, because you're working in groups, you can see them. What you can do is easily make it in 3D because you already planned it, right? Okay. Just for example. So your method, if you're working directly in 3D, is to have the 3D group as a solid. I want to punch it as a group. I'm going to punch it all the way there. For example only, my window here is aligned to the window there. I know that this is one group, and I know this is another group. So I select first the group I want to disappear, and then hold down Control, right click, and subtract. And I have a hole. 8 different profiles on a plane. Then you can use single lines. For example, I have a wall here, there, the one that looks like grills. You can just input like the profile width, so you have to manually place it there. Okay, this is the same thing, except it actually connects to each wall. For example, I have a wall here. Example lang ah. It's not accurate. And then I would like to add another wall here. Look what happens. It connects. So it gets treated as one solid, right? Instantly put doors and windows. So that's how debug works. Kind of like scrapbooks, except it's in the 3D model. Bang. Okay, to be a group in order for it to go 3D. But for example, I have a door here. It automatically cuts. For example, you downloaded something from 3D Warehouse. All you have to do is group this, bang, and then click on the Make 3D. I hope it does not crash. 7. And now we have 5D Plus from Vietnam. It's another architect who gave me this. Click on Grayscale. And if I click on white, it looks like Revit. So actually, people keep asking if this was Revit. I just say yes. If this works, yep, and it made a group outside. So that's where you can invest your money in after apprenticeship, I guess, to save you a lot of time because you're not employed anymore, I guess. I'm going to go into layout right now. I'm just gonna paste it. Control C, Control V, right? See, very easy. Ta-da! It doesn't really look like Revit. Method 5, just use the debug plugin. Save that. You have to save the SketchUp file first, and then this one automatically gets updated. Ta-ding! Now I have the plan view. What comes first are... Alright, you know what those are? Accessibility, bubble diagrams. As long as we are imagining the motion, we can decide to plan better. What's nice about this is, let's say you have 3 views, right? I changed this, flip that, same with the window here. Is that okay? You have it. This is the front, this is the section X, and this was the plan view. To even draw over the photos and make the specifications. And all these photos are copy-pasted into Enscape. Or in Windows Schedule, but this is not complete. Approved. But now if you want creative shots, you can choose other HDR or go for the darker mood. Okay. Why? Because the trees actually cast shadows when you are rotating the sky. So I would go for a glossy look if I would like something like for portfolio. If you see that, if I turn it nighttime, the brightness becomes so exposed. See how the fields look so different? This is SketchUp and this is Enscape rendering. As an architect, I would not present like this to the clients, but I might put this in my portfolio, right? The computer is not what's going to make you an architect. That is how it looks like. And if I would do it in real time, it's going to look like that. The FB2 message for the layout tutorials that you see here below, like this ones. And then YT for the tutorials or demonstrations while they are still free. See you again when I feel like it. Okay? Ding ding. It feels different from earlier, right? Just because of the HDR and lighting. Bye bye.